Hello, heyo. Hit him with the hind. This is OmniDog with OmniBros Live on a Thursday. And we have with us, as usual, the fabulous Omar from Near Mint Condition. Omar, how's it going?
Hi, I'm doing good, man. Fabulous. Yes, I am. And I feel fabulous today.
You are fabulous.
Yeah, well, I know. Thanks for having me, man. It feels like a lifetime ago that me and Luis kicked the crap out of Riley and Gabe on trivia night.
That was just a couple days ago, as a matter
It
of
was,
fact.
it was. But man, I got little satisfaction out of that. I can't be completely happy until I take you down, sir.
Take me down. I'm no good
That's
at trivia. I'd be a slam dunk for you. I couldn't even do DC trivia. I'm so bad at trivia.
Maybe like we could do like those old like 20s radio serials trivia.
Little Orphan Annie, yeah.
Orphan Annie and the Shadow and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about what I'm cut out for.
So, before we get started on
Yes.
this amazing adventure, who is this episode brought to you by?
This episode is brought to you by the fabulous in-stock trades, where you can find your books up to 50% off. Over $50 an order gets you free shipping in the United States. They have loyalty discounts, fabulous customer service, and incredible packaging. Plus, they have sales all the time, and you can go to their damage section and take a roll of the dice there, but they have all kinds of sales all the time, and they are wonderful. InStockTrades.com.
Thank you, Jess.
Whoa.
You have got that memorized, my friend.
I
All
do.
right. So we got a lot to talk about.
We do.
We've got some DC solicits for June. Is that correct? Yeah, June.
That is correct.
June of 2018, and we have Marvel solicitations for June of 2018, including some reprints of like Omnis that we never thought would see again. So, first things first, do you want to do a little quick haul? Like,
sure.
Is that what you were ready for?
I have haul books right in front of me.
All right. Then, Age Before Beauty.
Oh, you cut me to the core, my friend. First up is something I've been waiting for, Sheriff of Babylon, the deluxe edition. Fabulous Tom King wrote this book, and I just got it in. That's why it's still in the shrink wrap. Of course, I'm not going to tear the shrink wrap off until I read it. Book I've really been looking forward to because I know nothing about it, but I know I love Joe Kelly and I love the characters. Spider-Man Deadpool. This looks like a ton of fun, and I believe I'm going to try and read this and Sheriff of Babylon, reread Sheriff of Babylon over the weekend, since it sounds like we're going to be doing a review of it sooner rather than later. And I got Nailbiter, the Murder Edition. Murder Edition, Volume 2. Collects issues 11 through 20. I got the DCBS variant, just because that's what I like to do.
Who's the team on that book? I have not read any of that.
That would be Josh Williamson and somebody or other Henderson. I don't know his first name.
And you really you liked the first volume enough to keep going with the series?
Yeah, it's really grisly. I love it.
Okay.
It's grisly, and it's a good mystery, and it's a good cool. It's like if I recall correctly, it's all these serial killers seem to be coming from one place, and they're trying to figure out why. Nailbiter. I read it in floppies years ago, but it's finally, and this is a nice hardcover, really nice hardcover. Iron Cardinal says, "Team, keep shrink wrap on." Right on, Iron Cardinal. I'm gonna open this one because I want people to see the art in Green Lantern Earth 1 Volume 1 because it's supposed to be so great.
Okay. Well, while you do that, I'm gonna show off something I got.
Go for it.
I don't believe in keeping my books under shrink wrap, so I did end up getting that Commandi Omnibus for $37. Amazon honored the price that I've had this thing pre-ordered for over a year, so I had to, do a little haggling with them on the phone, but it was like I threw in the fact that it was my birthday and I'm an Amazon Prime member, and Got it for 37 bucks.
When you say you haggled, you basically browbeat them into accepting what they said they were going to sell it to you for, right?
Oh yeah, I had to. Well, it wasn't that bad. I only had to go like talk to a supervisor. I think you have to go to the manager level, just supervisor. Or did you unwrap it so you could go?
I did, yeah.
All right.
So this is. I haven't. Oh gosh, it's a little tight. This is Green Lantern as an astronaut. And it says Hal Jordan yearns for the thrill of discovery, but the days when astronaut and adventure were synonymous are long gone. Blubbity, blubbity, blah. He becomes a Green Lantern, but he finds a destiny to live up to. There are worlds beyond his own, unlike anything he ever imagined. But revelation comes with a price. The Green Lantern Corps has fallen, wiped out by ruthless killing machines known as manhunters. The odds against reinstating the Corps are nearly impossible. But doing the impossible is exactly what Hal Jordan was trained for. So there we see him with Kilowog. And yeah, this is I love it. This book is cool. It's like in a little green glow all over the place. I just have so many books that I gotta read. My wife's out of town. I really should just dedicate the next 2 days to reading.
Cancel the hookers.
Whoa.
Stick to reading.
Let's not go throwing the baby out with the bathwater there. Take it easy. I mean, she only leaves town once a year.
Oh, then don't cancel the hookers. Read while they do their thing.
Double the hookers and double the blow that's going to come my way. I spent the day going through my comic book collection just to see what I really had, and so that was today's productivity. And I think tomorrow and Saturday tomorrow and Sunday I should really just dedicate to pounding out some reading. Irredeemable Volume 5. Yay! I can finally read it all complete again. It was so great. I can't wait to read this again, do a video on it.
So you finished it before?
Yeah, I read it in trades.
Okay.
Probably 4 years ago, I want to say. 3 years ago.
Wow, it's been over for 4 years? They just now released the final hardcover?
Well, they did try and release a definitive edition of this. Boom did.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and it just stood there forever, just itself. Actually, I don't want to give too much away here because it gets towards the end. There was a definitive edition forever, and they never followed up on it. So then they relaunched with these premiere hardcovers. Mark Waid famously gave me $1 for royalties at Baltimore Comic-Con last year. What a great guy. And the last one sorry?
Would you care to explain why he gave you $1 to some people that don't know?
Because on the Omnibus group page, Ryleymo's Comic Swap and Community.
Wow, you got it right.
I know. I constantly promote Irredeemable as my favorite comic book with my favorite ending, and I've promoted the heck out of it for almost 3 years now on that page. And people are always saying that Mark Waid should pay me royalties that I have sold so many copies. So I got him to pose with me and $1 at Baltimore Comic-Con, and he basically was bowing to me as he handed me the $1, and it was great.
I saw the picture. It's for people that are curious as to why Mark Waid would pay you money for royalties. I haven't read it. I picked up Volume 1. I'm hoping to pick up the rest soon. Because I will read it all in one sitting. I've heard many things about it from reliable sources, not just you. And by reliable sources,
reliable than me.
15-year-old kids that have a YouTube channel. Life experience, man, goes a long way.
That's right.
No,
last thing. Oh, go ahead.
Looking forward to reading it, man. So
I can't wait for you to read it and tell me what you think of it. It's my favorite book. I got all the trades and just burned through it in like a day or two. There was, I can't remember, maybe 11 volumes, 9, 10, 11 volumes of it. There were a lot, and I just burned through them. And
there's an important question in the chat. What did you do with those trades?
I sold them for a song probably a year and a half ago, once the first premiere edition came out. Sorry, Avatar, I sold them because a lot of the trades are hard to find now.
You were playing risky, huh?
Yeah, I was gambling that they'd release the whole thing, and they did. And
I'm glad it paid off.
I think I sold them to a guy named Fernando in the group. Very nice guy, and he loved it, and I think he's collecting the hardcovers now too. And then lastly, I got the first trade paperback of Stephanie Brown Batgirl. This is the original thin ones. Now it's available in complete collection, but I had already got volumes 2 and 3. So I got this on eBay for $6, and I thought that was a good price.
That's crazy considering how much those books used to go for.
Yeah, they've really dropped now that the complete collections have come out. So it really paid off.
I love that run.
Yeah. What do you remember what these were going for? Were they going for like 40 and $50?
$50 at least, at the very least. They were up there with Red Robin prices at one time, which I don't think we have a Red Robin Ultimate Collection yet. So those are still up there.
Yeah. So I was really happy to get this. Because now I need to read it as I need to read everything else in my library.
Got all weekend, brother.
To read my whole library. Yes, and Sledge. I know I need to get Nikolai Dante. I'm totally scared of it though, because there's like 11 volumes of it. But I guess I don't have to get. I guess I don't have to get all 11. I can try just issue the first trade. I'm definitely going to get it. I believe that it's available on Amazon. So yes, Sledge. I know I need to do that. I watched Chocolate Rain, and now I need to get Nikolai Dante. As far as requests from the chat go. Cool,
man. Now, is that all you hauled, or
that was all I hauled? That's Jess on a budget haul.
Oh, stop with that B word.
You don't believe that I'm on a budget, huh?
I refuse to believe it. So I had a birthday come last week, and then this past weekend I celebrated with my friends, and my wife made it a comic book theme party where people we all took pictures together. It was fun. And
wait, let's see the binder a little bit more carefully.
Oh, she put this it's a box. She decorated with comic book art to make it look a little bit more antique. But she got me some cool things, man. She got me this comic that I've never heard of. If you can see that, it says The Thrilling Adventures of Lovelace and Babbage. It's the story of the first computer. So I haven't read it yet. I just read the very about page. It's done in a comic book / novel style. So it's based on a true story. I've never heard of this book, but my wife, see, this is what I meant by no pictures. 2 pictures, but so she does this, she gets me independent books from time to time on my birthday or Christmas, and she's pretty much hit it out of the park most of the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I will probably read that coming soon. I also picked up, but I opened Sheriff of Babylon.
Nice.
Here's some of the artwork if you have not seen it before. I also have not read much of this. I've read I think the first 3 issues, and I was like, I'm sure it'll get some nice collection one day. I was going to go for the trade paperbacks, and then Tom King started writing Batman, and I decided, well, he's probably going to get a hardcover now that this guy's writing Batman. So about a year and a few months later, a year later, they announced the oversized the hardcover. So looking forward to reading that. Let's see. I also picked up the Avengers Epic, the Collection Obsession. This has a lot of annuals in here, not just Avengers, but this is the Epic stuff. This is during the Bob Harris and Steve Epting years. But it's got artwork by not just Steve Epting, but Ron Lim and who else is on here? There's a lot of annuals in here from Namor and then Hulk. then like Avengers West Coast, because there's like a 6-part annual crossover that goes through here, and I hate when they do that because I'm like, oh, I want more Avengers. But this is volume 21 of the Epic Run, which lines up nicely with the Operation Galactic Storm, which is volume 22. If you have not picked it up, I'm a huge fan of the Epics. I don't need these to be oversized hardcover and omnibus format, and that is. Oh no, I do have one more thing. I did a video review of Ninja Turtles, or a video overview. This is volume 6. I'm not going to flip through too much of here because there's some spoilerish stuff happening in here. But yeah, if you have not read these, go watch my video on Near Condition, because they're wonderful, wonderful retelling of an old story, but with a fresh new take. And like I mentioned in my video, this is probably my favorite incarnation of the Ninja Turtles as far as the story and origins. It's awesome. And you don't have to be familiar with the characters. Like if you never watched the cartoon, or God forbid you watch the Michael Bay movies and you actually enjoy them, you probably enjoy this a lot more. But yeah, these are awesome. Right up there with Transformers IDW.
I'll have to watch your vid because I'm not into the Turtles, but seeing those books, they're so beautiful that I feel like I want to be into them.
Yeah, IDW does a really good job with the presentation. You know, each spine is a different color, and then the ribbon matches the color of the spine and the character. You know, they're retail $50, but we all know we can get them cheaper than that. And I believe they're all still in print, unlike the Transformers IDW stuff. It's got some of my favorite artwork in these books too.
Yeah, they look beautiful.
About 16 to 18 issues in each book. No dust jacket, but man, just the presentation is totally worth it. I love those IDW hardcover books. That's it, man.
Cool. Sledge asks, Jess, what are your thoughts on Moon Knight Volume 1? Who is the writer? Oh, we have somebody popping up. Are you done with the lawn there, dude?
Yeah, it looks great now. Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, everything's done. I'm tired and sweaty now.
Wow.
Nice.
Look at you. Commitment.
I had to get it done. Yeah, my wife was like, we have game night on Saturday, and I don't want everyone coming over and seeing our lawn looking like a piece of trash. So I was like, okay.
Game night, that sounds fun. Like, what are you going to play?
Loteria.
That's lottery for Jess.
Thank you. Thank you. What is Loteria? Some type of board game?
I think Omar should be able to explain that one.
Whoever wins the lottery ends up dying. Like it's a Ray Bradbury short story. I really don't know what Loteria is. How do you play it, man?
I was hoping you knew, because I've never. Sorry, I'm getting everything ready. I've never played it before. I know it, but I've never played it. But my wife, being the actual Mexican, and me just being the half South American guy, she's played it with her family, and so she, I guess, told her friends, like, yeah, come over to my place, we'll play games. And then for some reason that came up, and she's like, yeah, but we got to go get it. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I had to make my lawn look pretty.
Nice.
Well, good for you, man, for doing all those duties.
Duty.
You said duty.
Mature. You guys are so mature.
So we're just on the haul portion. Do you have your hauls handy?
Not yet. Let me figure everything out, and I'll pull it all together so I can talk about it.
We're doing hauls, reads, and yard work tonight.
Yes. So we covered yard work.
Nice.
And now we can cover hauls and reads.
My yard is still covered in snow, so I'm good.
Ooh.
Ours melted off quickly. Everything's gone. And there was like 6 inches on there.
Wow.
So, okay, Riley, you want to get your stuff, and Omar and I will continue to chat, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm pulling up my because I haven't done a haul since at least last month, so I'm pulling up my orders so I can figure out everything that came in. But yeah, just give me a minute.
You've already filed them?
Yeah, everything aside from like 3 books, everything's on the shelf already, so I'll just have to run through and get everything off.
Cool, man. You go get that, and we'll talk about maybe some of the June solicitations.
June, dang, that's what came out. Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, damn, y'all are really ahead right now. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute myself.
We can talk about what we've read.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. What have you read, man? You just said you haven't read anything.
Well, I have read something, and that is the reading assignment, the Fabulous Planetary Omnibus. This I'm definitely reading. I'm just going to blow off everything tomorrow. I don't even think I have. Let me see. Do I have any appointments or anything tomorrow? I don't think I do. Tomorrow is appointment free. So I need to read a bunch of this because it's so great. I love this book. And I got it from the damage section on In-Stock Trades for like $20. And all that's wrong with it is that bent corner right here, which is hardly anything. So
I wonder if...
big score.
Man, I always wonder if somebody runs a scheme like that. Like somebody purposely damages a little ding like that, returns it to a place like In-Stock Trade so people like his buddy can buy it, like at a discount. I'm not saying that.
You're saying that somebody did that for me?
Mm-mm. Not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying I wonder if people do that. That would be wrong.
Yes, gosh, that's a cynical attitude you have there.
That's just the way I think, man.
Well, that's cool.
Is that all you have read? Just the planetary stuff?
Yeah, I've read about the first third of it. And I love it.
Cool. I am going through my Ninja Turtles and rereading those. What else did I read? There was another book. The one of my Carl Barks novel, Trick or Treat, the Donald Duck Carl Barks collection, because I needed a break from superheroes. So that was a nice little break. And
you are the man when it comes to ducks.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
You're a duck expert.
And I'm taking a break from Love and Rockets because I'm halfway through Volume 2. And I'm liking it more than Volume 1, but I just needed a break. And then I read Wanted, the Mark Millar Wanted. Because it's it's a stupid fun book.
Yeah, I like that book.
But that's all I've read.
Okay. What's going on in the chat? Clarknado's making fun of me. I buy so many books I don't know what's even come in. Is that me you're making fun of? Champagne problems? Hashtag?
No, it's got to be Riley.
Oh, okay, good. Well, you can go ahead and make fun of Riley. That's cool. I'm totally okay with that. Jesse Saywat says Duck Donuts. There is a Duck Donuts near me somewhere in Maryland, and supposedly Duck Donuts are fantastic. I need to check that out. I need to check that out badly.
I've not heard of that Duck Donuts, so.
Well, I'll check it out, and when you come up here for Baltimore, if it's good, we'll go to it.
It's happening. It's happening.
Probably on our way to Baltimore anyway.
Did you get your books off your shelf, man? What'd you get? More crappy Batman books?
No, I did not. I think I was relatively crap free this time. Did y'all finish talking about those solicits?
We waited for you. We talked about what we read.
Oh, I guess, should I say what I read this past week?
Do whatever you want. Pauls, reads.
Sweet. So I guess, it's about a week ago, or maybe almost 2 weeks ago, I started reading the series 20th Century Boys. And I had the first 9 volumes for a long time and several months and had never touched it. It's a manga series, a rather well-known and celebrated one by Naoki Urasawa. And they recently, within the last few months, announced that they were going to be, like right after I bought those books, they were going to be re-releasing them in the perfect editions, similar to Urasawa's Monster. So I was like, okay, well, I would rather get those. I'm glad I didn't get the whole series. And so I read through what I had real fast, and man, I was hooked. Like I couldn't put it down during that first weekend that I was reading it, and then I had to go forward and keep reading it. So I read on a good old Scanlation website uh, the latter part of 20th Century Boys, and I actually just today finished the last volume of that, but I need to read the follow-up, the 2 volumes of 21st Century Boys. So I was hoping to have that finished by the time I talked about it today, but unfortunately I didn't. So I can't give a full review or anything, but I will say that I was surprised that this book lived up to the hype and the adoration that it gets. In my opinion, like from everything that I've heard from people, it definitely lived up to that. I wasn't disappointed. It's a fantastic kind of like a kind of, I guess you'd call it a mystery. Like it's unknown who the identity of this person is. And this is the weirdest thing ever. Like, but the correlation that I made to it was that it felt like, because there's this person called Friend, and they have this society or this like almost religion about them, and people are like enamored with Friend, but you don't know who Friend is, but it's someone who is known by the main character Kenji and his group of friends. So the whole series is them trying to find out who it is. But as I was reading it, I was like, this feels like Scientology. Like everything about Friend and his group felt like Scientology, and everything that, you know, there's a series that actress Leah Remini had put out where she like got out of Scientology, and she's kind of like spilling the tea on everything about the church, and it's just bonkers. And it kind of reminded me in a way of that, but like to a more extreme level. But it's that aside, the series is magnificent. It's so well written. The pacing is fantastic. It goes across like, the story goes across generations and across decades. It like as far back as like the 60s going all the way to 2015, just going back and forth and showing different points in time for these characters, and, you know, twists and turns at every corner. And they're always, you know, great cliffhangers that make you just want to keep on reading. There was not, but maybe like one point in the entire series that I felt a little bit of a lag, where I was like, okay. And then I had to kind of push myself for a second. And then I was like, all right, we're back on the train. Let's do this. So hopefully I get to finish it tonight, and I'll get to the end of the whole mystery and the whole story. But man, what a great experience. And I've got Monster lined up next. So I'll be reading that series hopefully after I finish 20th Century Boys. And that's what I've read.
I think you made the right decision in reading 20th Century Boys first, because that's probably my favorite series that he has done is Pluto, but that's because I'm a huge fan of Astro Boy. But 20th Century Boys was such an epic storyline, including the 21st Century, and I also watched the live action movies. They were really solid too. But Monster, I can see why it's his like best work ever. Like people love Monster. It's a wonderful story. That's the one that Jess tried to read, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably his best work. But my suggestion is maybe take a break from it, from his work, and read something lighthearted, because you're in for some twisted, demented shit. Not like Berserk, where it's like over fantasized, bloody gore, but it's just kind of almost realistic.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, and like I was thinking I'm probably going to take a break before I read it anyway, because like of the fact that you're saying, and now it's putting the thoughts that I had about what it was into reality. Now you're telling me like it's very dark and very real in how it's dark. And today or yesterday, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to take a break before that because of things going around me right now and in Austin.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't handle something like that right now. Like my nerves are already shot. So I was definitely going to do that, like read some superhero books before heading into it. But I'm still like excited about it. I'm a little wary about jumping straight into something and like having a panic attack. I don't want to have that influence my appreciation for the series. But yeah, I'm stoked to finish. Hopefully I'll read those 2 volumes of 21st Century Boys tonight and have a final verdict about all of it. But it's probably going to be the same thing everyone else says. It's awesome.
It really is. It really is. That's all I have to say without giving too many spoilers away. But it's a great series. I loved it. I wish they would finish his other series that he had started. I know Viz owns the rights too, and I still have my Pineapple Army Volume 1 that I bought in 1995.
Yeah,
waiting for that Volume 2, Viz.
That one was. I was looking up stuff, and isn't it only like drawn by him?
Mm-hmm. Like, well, no, he wrote some of it too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, after reading this, I definitely would like to see more of his work because I'm more prone to follow creators and stuff like I do in Western books.
Especially with manga though, because once you see the creator's own stuff, like that's his vision. Regardless, you know, it's not like he's going to write Superman.
Right.
At the end of his art, you know, Superman's going to go unchanged. The only series I have not read by him, Master Keaton. I haven't read that yet, and I want to. So, what'd you haul, man?
All right. Well, small book first. I got the 3rd volume of Twilight Princess, the Zelda adaptation. I mentioned before, this is my favorite of the Zelda adaptations. I feel like it's actually a pretty quality story compared to others that were just a really thin retelling of the video games as quickly as possible. And then I got the rest of my Junji Ito books sorted out. The Cat Diary, Yon and Mu, Fragments of Horror, and I finally got Gio, even though I've read this like years ago, but I just never bought a copy. The last volume of manga I grabbed was I found the first volume of Vinland Saga at Half Price Books, so I got it for $10 the other day, and then I found out when I brought it home that it was like a little bit splitting from the spine, so I put a piece of tape in there, but that's okay. I'm not bothered by it. And then let's see, the Batgirl Volume 2 by Brian Q. Miller. I didn't read the first volume yet, but I'm excited about this because this second volume has some great artists, Dustin Nguyen included in there, so that's going to be cool. All-Star Batman Volume 3 by Scott Snyder with Raphael Albuquerque. What was it? The First Ally. I read this as it was coming out in singles and enjoyed that story arc. Thought it was pretty solid. Another DC hardcover I got was Green Lantern Earth 1. This is something that Omar doesn't like, and I think it looks pretty cool.
I don't.
Because you talk crap about the Earth 1 stuff.
No, I said I wish that they would just stick to one label.
Oh.
The black label. I wish they would just call it what it is, Elseworld. That's what I was complaining about.
Oh, okay. Well, I rescind my my insult.
I haven't read it yet. It could suck. So I could be right.
I don't know. I'm gonna read. I hope to read it pretty soon. These are pretty thin books. They're pretty cheap too. So I grabbed it because I'm a big fan of Gabriel Hardman. He did artwork for both the Red Hulk run and Secret Avengers by Rick Remender, both of which I really love. So I'm looking forward to see that. And then he and I believe Karina Beshko is his wife. They've done some cool work together in the past. So I'm looking forward to that. Ninjak Volume 2, the regular purchase of big-ass expensive Valiant books that have gone up in price. And Nailbiter Volume 2. I really liked this series when it was being published. Written by Josh Williamson, artwork by Mike Henderson. Fantastic, kind of just weird about a serial killer in a town with serial killers in it. I recommend it. TMNT from IDW Volume 6, the one with Shredder.
Good choice.
This one's interesting because this is where we start getting to where there's not that many issues of the main series.
Yeah.
There's like it's 1, 2, three, four, five, 6 issues of the main TMNT series, and then like one shots and 2 miniseries. And the volume 8, which was recently solicited, I think only has like 2 or 3 issues of TMNT.
Yeah, it's got 2, and the rest is the universe, which is the coexisting title,
which is pretty cool. I've been reading that too as it comes out monthly, and it's pretty enjoyable.
Who's working on that? I haven't read those yet.
Every issue has like different stories by different creators and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually they'll have at least one ongoing story, like by a single creator or a single, creative team.
So it's not like Transformers More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in the Skies, where it's 2 different creators going 2 different ways with their stories. It's just like kind of like one shots.
It's a companion piece, I would say, to the main ongoing series. The most recent arc, though, did I feel like it played into what's going on in the main TMNT series. So it is cool. When I first saw the solicit for the new volume, I was like, cool, that's awesome that they're including that. Now we know that everything's going to be included, including the other ongoing series in these hardcovers. So it really does make them an all-in-one collection.
I'm happy how fast they're pumping them out.
Yeah, it took them a little bit to get them going at first, but now it seems like it's almost quarterly at this point.
Yeah, and that's really quick for IDW, because usually with the Transformers, it's twice a year if you're lucky that you get one of those collections. Yeah, and honestly, it's been twice a year, but for a long time now. But that's because they waited probably about 5 years before they started collecting them. They waited 5 years, so they had enough Transformer comics to start publishing the hardcover edition. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm glad that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is following suit, because I really enjoy that book. I was telling Jess about how wonderful it is, and even if he knows nothing about turtles, he should give it a shot.
Yeah, it's a solid series, man. It's enjoyable. I've been really satisfied with those hardcovers. I think that they do have a high price point at like $50 a pop, but for what you're getting in that volume, it makes it a really good experience because, and I know I've said this before, but it's all of the different miniseries and one-shots being combined in one place into one like big storyline. So you read it all in, the organic order that it's meant to be read in, or the best order, I guess.
Yeah.
But moving on, this one is one of the ones that we're going to be reviewing pretty soon. The Sheriff of Babylon oversized deluxe edition hardcover. Tom King and Mitch Gerads did this series a couple of years back as a 12-issue series from Vertigo's. Fantastic book. I'm excited to be able to read through this one more time and then review that pretty soon with you guys. And then here is one that a lot of people do not like. So I guess I did have at least one shitty book on my pile.
No,
that was.
It's not a lot of people. It's just me.
I like it.
No, there's a lot of people who don't. And I really enjoyed it when I first read it. But I think that a lot of that had to do with me really not knowing anything about the character of Moon Knight. And it was more just like, cool, Bendis and Malieve. And I picked it up in single issues. And then I picked it up again in the trade paperbacks. And I really enjoyed it, except for the ending, which was kind of meant to be a lead into Age of Ultron, but it didn't really do that very well.
I think you probably said it best. Maybe because you didn't know much about the character, it helped you enjoy the book. Maybe because I knew so much about, or maybe because I really like Mark Spector. Like, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't think he understood the character because he just kind of did his own thing with it.
And that's usually what Bendis seems to do, is just do whatever he wants with characters. And sometimes he gets away with it because sometimes it's a character that maybe not a lot of people have been paying attention to. But sometimes he doesn't.
But when it's the Guardians of the fucking Galaxy.
Yeah. And like I've admitted that that's kind of like a guilty pleasure comic of mine. I did find some enjoyment out of it, but I'm not going to put it as a run that's up there with the rest of them. And when Jerry Dugan took over on the Guardians, it was immediately evident that his idea was to completely take away everything that Bendis had done and like take them back to their comic roots instead of being this pastiche of like the video or the movie version of those characters, except not as interesting, I guess. I don't know, but
you got my attention when the way you described it, because I only read the Free Comic Book Day and I think three issues of his run, and they were okay. Honestly, I didn't think they were phenomenal or anything, but and we'll get to that here in a second with the Marvel solicitations. But that omnibus has been announced, and at that $75 price point, I'm it's a no-brainer for me to get it after what you just said.
I think that if you or anyone is a fan of the Abnett and Lanning era of the Guardians, and they would like to have seen a return to that kind of, those characters, this is the run that you would want to pick up. And it has a lot of really good artists. It has a lot of really good creative talent in there and interesting characters. And it brings back Richard Rider. I know he had been back, but like brings him into the fold with the Guardians, which really made it feel similar to the DNA era of Guardians. And of course, the story that you're going to get in that omnibus is like the first part, and then the rest of it has been through that the Infinity countdown storyline that's going on right now.
I heard transition. That's really a Guardian story.
Yeah, and it's been a couple issues so far, but they've been really, really good issues.
I will say, I think of all the people I know, you are the most voracious reader of all of us, Riley. You consume comics at an amazing pace. It's really impressive.
It's your mutant power?
I don't know, maybe. I really just 5 days a week while I'm at work, I sit down for my lunch, an hour or a little bit more, and usually I've already eaten my lunch at my desk, and then as I go to the back, I just sit at my computer and I read for a whole hour as much as I can. And sometimes I'm reading slowly, but sometimes I can get a dozen issues or more finished in that hour. And then when I get home, usually I'll do a couple more, and then before I go to bed, I have about an hour where I'm sitting there reading. So at least 2 hours a day of reading. It keeps my mind going.
That's good. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I got a few more, four more here. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl Volume 3. This one has issues 12 through 21 of the second Unbeatable Squirrel Girl series. I've been enjoying this one since it first launched. It's been a solid series, really funny, really cool characterization. And we just found out that they're going to have an artistic change coming up on the series, though it is not concluding. It is not ending. It'll just have a new artist. So anyone who had issues with Erica Henderson's art might want to revisit it with whoever the new artist is. We will see soon. This is another book that we're going to be reviewing on the show pretty soon. That is Spider-Man Deadpool. I kind of championed for this one as one of our review books. Spider-Man and Deadpool by Joe Kelly with Ed McGuinness. This collects issues 1 through 5, 8 through 10, 13 and 14, and 17 and 18 of the ongoing Spider-Man Deadpool series. This is a great series because Joe Kelly is fantastic with both Deadpool and Spider-Man. So as soon as it was solicited, I knew this was going to be a winner. The issues in this volume are the entire storyline that he was doing with a character he created called Itsy Bitsy. It's just a load of fun. I'm hoping that everyone else that is reviewing the book with us will enjoy it as much as I did. And then speaking of Deadpool, I got the Deadpool Minibus Volume 0. I have read all but one of the miniseries that are in this book already. This collects Suicide Kings 1 through 5, Wade Wilson's War 1 through 4, Deadpool Pulp 1 through 4. There was a trio of annuals that made up the Identity Wars storyline. I've read that. And then the last one is issues 1 through 3 of Fear Itself Deadpool, written by what's his name? The guy that was doing Gwenpool. Christopher Hastings? Yeah, Hastings. He writes that miniseries. So that's the only one I haven't read yet. So a lot of solid miniseries that I really enjoyed them when they were coming out. I'm excited to revisit them and see if they still stand up to what I thought of them back then. And I'm excited to see Chris Hastings' miniseries because I really enjoyed Gwenpool. And I never read that one, so that'll be fun. And then finally, last but not least, is Daredevil by Mark Waid and Chris Samney, Volume 2, collecting the latter half of the Waid and Samney run on Daredevil. This was a fantastic series. I know a ton of people read it, so I don't have to say too much about it, but I'm very happy to have it across those two very, very pretty omnibus editions. And that is it.
There's a question asked, and I was wondering it myself. Omnipool asks, why did they skip issues on that Spidey Deadpool book?
The issues between were not by Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness, and I think that this is because of the fact that Ed McGuinness can't keep up. They didn't want to have filler artists, so they just had filler issues instead, where it wasn't part of the story. So you're getting that's why I said it has a complete story. You're getting that entire storyline by Kelly and McGuinness. And then there are other volumes of the series that will collect, like the paperback volumes that collect the issues in between. I don't remember all of different creative teams, but not until recently, like within the last 6 issues or so, did they get a new ongoing creative team with writer Robbie Thompson.
Okay. There was actually... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that Daredevil Mark Waid, that is a huge run of omnibus or omnis, starting with Bendis, right? If you own Bendis, then it moves on to Ed Brubaker, and then it goes into Shadowland, and then you get the Mark Waid stuff.
Right.
I mean, that's a huge chunk of Daredevil that you got there.
Yeah, and it's a lot of good stuff. And we both talked last week about how we were. I think you had recently read Shadowland, right?
I started reading it and how much I, for some reason, enjoyed it more than what most people probably did.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I felt like it was a lot better than people put it out to be, and maybe it's just my expectations having been so, at ground zero. But I had a lot of fun with that story.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly enjoying that story more than... But I've only read the Daredevil and Shadowland stuff. I haven't gotten into the minis yet.
Yeah, I never went back to it because I wanted to read 20th Century Boys. So I was like, I'm going to shelf that, and then eventually I'll read those miniseries. But I read the main part of it.
You made the right decision, probably, just for a little bit.
Yeah, that was a lot of people mentioned. I saw a lot of people's comments were that most of the miniseries and one shots really didn't add anything and weren't very good. So
yeah,
figuring I'll skip them for now.
Well, man, you hauled a lot. You got some reading to do, but not as much as Jess. He's got some major reading to do this weekend. His wife's out of town.
Yeah.
All he's got to do is just, set the alarm and get to reading, man. You got a whole weekend to catch up.
I know, and I'm going to do it too. I do. Somebody asked if I was gonna do a live video this weekend. Omar, do you have time to do a collected? What were we talking about doing? Custom bound edition.
Custom binding. Yeah. Let's do it Sunday. I can do it Sunday.
Okay, so the answer to that question is yes. I am going to have a live video this weekend. Omar and I are going to talk about custom bound books. And Avatar asks OmniDog, what? I can't even pronounce my own name. OmniDog, what did your accountant tell you about how much money to spend on hobbies? My accountant actually doesn't enter into the equation. It's what upper level management in this house has to say about it. And we set a budget for it, and it is being stuck to, if that's a proper way to say it. The budget is being stuck to. So my accountant actually wants me to get more into buying comic books as a hobby. He was fascinated by it. We spent a long time talking about San Diego Comic-Con and other cons and stuff like that, and Baltimore Con. So he encouraged me to buy more comic books, which I thought was great.
There is a very important question. Is there a giveaway next week?
Oh, that is a good question.
And the answer is absolutely yes, there is. Either Monday or Thursday. So Monday the 26th or Thursday the 29th. we have not talked about it. So, but yes, there is.
So it's either going to be Monday or Thursday.
Yeah, unless you want to do it on Wednesday, you and Luis. That's
Nah, we should do it next Thursday. I think Thursdays get the most viewers.
okay. All right. Well,
That's just my opinion. Why? What's next?
oh no, I may be traveling, but I think you guys can do it. You know, I was.
No, it's part of your job to.
I volunteered
run
one
the calculator. Yeah, I know, and you did it so well. See, the problem is you didn't botch it up, so we're gonna ask you to do it again.
We'll see. Okay, do you guys want to talk about solicitations coming up? Oh no one special is asking, can Omar do an updated tour of his library? Yes, I plan on doing that in April or May, because it's been over a year and I've added quite a bit of books. So yes, it will be done. Jimmy's here. Jesse, all right. So solicits.
Okay.
Jess, you got this, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to walk me through it again.
Okay.
Because this is part of the fun.
So go to the left and share your screen.
Oops. Okay, wait. Go to the left. Screen share.
Screen share. Close out all the porn, all the weird, like all your personal account information. Make sure that's all gone. And pull up the solicits, and then make sure that block is on you the entire time.
Block is on me. Okay. Present to everyone.
Yep. Now move to the solicitations. There you go. And here we are. Kicking off. Marvel, huh?
Did it work?
Yeah. Do you not see it? Maximize the screen. That's all you need to do. Hit that little green button on the left-hand side, and you got this, baby. Look at that, man. Less than 1 minute. IT service. That's what I'm here for.
Nice.
Never thought I would see this as an omnibus, but the Hellstorm series from the 90s is coming in an omnibus format by Warren. Of course, probably because of Warren Ellis, right? Maybe.
How was that series? I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to ask that myself.
I remember reading it and it was okay, but I don't think Warren Ellis didn't start until halfway through the series. I don't think
it says issue 12 is what it says on there.
Let's see. Hellstorm, Prince of Lies, 12 through 21, and Druid 1 through 4. I dug it, but I don't. There's a ton of other material I would rather have collected in omnibus format. $75, $424. Why do I think? I know where you're going with this.
Why do you think this is solicited? Why do you think that something? Is he making an appearance somewhere?
Maybe, because there's something else. Maybe they have something planned with some of the monster books. Because as we'll see here in a minute, when Jess scrolls down, there's something that has been reprinted that I'm very excited about. And the next thing up is the Marvel Cinematic Universe Marvel Comics Omnibus. That is a pass for me, but what do you guys think? Did you guys like any of that stuff?
I never read it.
What's funny about that is not that long ago, I asked people in the group if anyone had actually read that material, and if I was like, is this stuff actually worth checking out? There's got to be a reason they keep churning it out. Does anyone read it? And I was like, part of me wants to read it all just to give that the same kind of morbid curiosity about all the shitty Batman books I bought. That's the kind of morbid curiosity that I've had for these things.
That's an expensive book, though, man.
But here's if I'm not planning on buying it, but if I was going to buy it,
what's the price point?
It would have to be bottomed out, dude. It would have to be at the tops $30.
Even $30 is at I have passed up on some shitty omnibuses that have been marked down $25. Well, I'm I hate these Marvel now omnibus. I found that for I think $27.
I saw that for $8 once.
Did you? Oh, that's right, Amazon. There was a guy selling them on Amazon for $8.95, and he had $4 shipping. And then I found the Marvel 90s number ones. That one was $30, and I'm maybe $10. I would have bought that. So, yeah, I'm passing on that. I don't even know what my price point would be. Maybe if it was a gift, but
Yeah.
somebody would really not have to know me. Give me that. This is a definite buy for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Remaining Thor by Dan Jurgens. This is the Heroes Return. Wow, they're still calling it Heroes Return. Awesome. Heroes Return Omnibus Volume 2. Collecting the remaining issues by Dan Jurgens. So, does it have the Iron? Yeah, it's got the Iron Man crossover issues and the Marvel Double Shot 1. 1,300 pages for $125. Seems like $125 is the new norm for these newer volumes, but that's a good price.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm, knock on wood, we're still not seeing that 150 price point from Marvel like we've seen several times from DC.
Yeah, but Marvel doesn't have the big thick books like DC does, though, like the 1,500 pages or the 1,474 pages. But I'm excited about this because Dan Jurgens was still killing it in this series. I think up in probably issue 60 is maybe when it started winding down some, I think. But it was still a great series. What I don't see is holy shit, it does collect. Let me double check something. But I think this collects the Ragnarok story written by Michael Oeming.
Yeah, his name is credited at the top.
Because I think issue 85, because that's the cancellation of the book that leads into Avengers Disassemble. Man, that's pretty badass, actually. Because that's never, that's been collected. I own it as the Avengers Disassemble oversized hardcover collection, the companion.
Mm-hmm.
So I passed on the trade, but that's pretty cool.
I didn't notice that either whenever I was looking through the Solicits, so that's a really awesome addition.
Yeah, because the last volume by Jurgens was Gods and Men, and that goes all the way to issue 79. Cool. So that's a nice plus. Didn't see that coming. All right, Jess, what's next?
Avengers No Surrender hardcover.
You excited about this?
When Earth is stolen.
I am.
I've been reading this one. It's a solid storyline.
I'm loving this series. It's a nice throwback to classic Avengers storytelling that I like. So I cannot wait for this hardcover.
Is this a book I can just jump into?
Probably, maybe. I don't know, man.
It's a solid maybe. Because there is a lot of characters. Pretty much anybody that's ever been an Avenger appears in these books.
Wow.
And some of those characters have changed over the years. And there were some that I haven't read that USA Avengers book, Riley, that you were talking about. So the whole time I'm like, why does Roberto da Costa look old? Why does he have gray hair? When did this happen? So, I'm excited about this. I was really saddened to see that this book was canceled because as excited as I am over Jason Aaron taking over Avengers, I'm saddened that the book is ending. This series, the weekly series of Avengers, is ending.
I'm gonna say that as far as like Jess's question about whether he would enjoy it or not. Sorry, I'm looking for my computer charger. Or if he can just jump into it. I'm going to say you can probably jump into it and read it and you'll have some questions, but that's good because that's going to make you want to go back and read the earlier stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe it'll pay off you not knowing that much about Avengers. That way when you see some characters, you're like, oh, okay, they've always been in Avengers. Sure. What? Jarvis?
There was in like one of the most recent, I think last week's issue, there was a thing with the Red Hulk that a lot of people were like rolling their eyes at. And I feel like if you have read the US Avengers series, that doesn't come off as surprising just because that series, I mean, it's a series called US Avengers written by a Brit. That says it right there. Like it's meant to be over the top and it's hilarious. Like it's just this crazy like American Avengers team.
Yeah. So I need to probably pick that up. We're continuing the Marvel Masterworks line. I know some people that are really excited about that, but at that price point, a pass for me now. The Omnis have taken over my life. No more Marvel Masterworks for this guy.
Ooh, here's something I'm excited about.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Gwen. I'm excited about that, and I'm excited because Riley told me to be excited about Guardians of the Galaxy by Jerry Duggan.
How does it feel to have that much power over another human being? Right?
I don't know. It feels good sometimes. But like after a while, I feel like the expectations are set so high. I get because like right now I'm 9 for 9 on my recommendations for Jess.
That's
and he
good.
keeps saying like this could be number 10, and I'm like I don't know if I want to recommend that one. Like I'm nervous that he's gonna come back and be like, Riley, you fucker.
All right,
That would never happen.
Guys, we had 78 people watching. Have we ever had that many people watching before?
No.
All right, awesome.
That's a record.
Record breaking. All right, cool. It's these Omnis in your voiceovers, man, that you do so well, Jess.
Right on, man.
All right,
Let's
Guardians
look
of the
at what's
Galaxy.
in there.
Scroll down, sir. Por favor.
1 through 12, 146 through 150. That's when it went into legacy numbering, and then Free Comic Book Day 2017. The Guardians story at 408 pages and that sweet $75 price point.
I'm good with that. Because how many pages was like Hawkeye? Hawkeye was just about as many, right? And it was $100.
Yeah. Something around there.
Good. Maybe they learned their lesson. I hope. All right, here it is. Here's the big one that people were paying $300 for on eBay up until a couple of weeks ago when we all found out about this. The reprinting of Amazing Spider-Man by David Michelini and Todd McFarlane.
That thing was going for $300?
Yeah, one time. The sealed version of that. Well, but there's also a variant version. The black costume. That's the one I have.
That's the one I have, yeah.
Yeah, that's such a sweet. That one's worth more money because it had a lower print run.
Probably re-releasing that
happy.
one because of the Venom movie, I'm guessing.
Yeah, first appearance of Venom. And just that sweet Todd McFarlane art, if that was your thing in the 90s. I hope this means maybe someday we'll get a David Michelini and Mark Bagley omnibus. That would make me very ecstatic. And here we go. This is another. And by the way, both of these, they're still keeping at $100 price point. The Amazing Spider-Man reprint and the Tomb of Dracula Volume 1 reprint at $100. Oh,
I love that.
Gosh.
I love that Marvel has not, with these reprints, I think one of the only ones they've raised the price on might have been Elektra, because I think it went from like 50 to 75. But these $100 ones, they've been keeping it $100, and like the Garth Ennis Punisher one, that makes me so happy.
Oh, dude, yeah. This one here, that's a day one buy for me, because that's the one that I passed on because I could not find it for less than, what was it? At the time when these were solicited, I think In Stock Trade was only doing 37% off. Was their highest? Like, you know how we have the standard 42 now?
Yeah.
Well, at one time it was 37%, and that's what they had off of this one. I was like, 37%? I don't really know much about these. I'll pass. And I never found it again for anything cheaper, right? And then now it went out of print, and it was going for a couple $100. And I'm
for
like,
years.
Oh, shit, yeah. Now it's back in the print. So, like, you mentioned the Warren Ellis Hellstorm. Like, something, maybe Marvel's planning some kind of monster comeback in the month of October. With the release of this.
Do you recall, did you ever see a piece of artwork by artist Greg Smallwood, and it was like a Midnight Suns?
Yes. Oh, shit. Midnight Suns. Man, if they made that into a TV series and not cast Nicolas Cage as
Well, I'm just thinking,
I'd be down with that.
What if they're actually, like, because that picture that he drew, it was just an idea. He was like, I want to pitch this. What if it got traction and Marvel actually thought it was a good idea? And what if that series is coming out? Because I think it was Blade and what's his name? Hellstorm were also on there.
Yeah, I remember the piece that you're talking about, but
I'm going to look it up.
You look that up. We'll go down here and look at the next stuff. So this is a new printing of Flags of Our Fathers. This is the Captain America Black Panther book by Reggie Hudlin, famous for House Party 1, 2, and 3, and that really awesome Black Panther run that I really enjoyed. And I think both of these guys, Jess and Gabe was the other guy that reviewed it. Both of them really liked it. God, man, we have 82 watchers, right? 82.
Whoa, we broke 80. Nice.
Yeah, we're at 82, man.
What is going on tonight?
See what happens when we take our ugly mugs off the screen? I'm starting to see a pattern.
Right. Black Panther Shuri, Deadliest of the Species.
This is a new printing. I guess it was a previously collected edition.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're releasing Black Panther stuff. Go, way to be smart, Marvel. Was this a miniseries? The Star Wars Journey to Star Wars Last Jedi, Captain Phasma?
Yes. Yeah, it was a pretty solid miniseries, too.
Because I'm a big fan of that guy's artwork. Marco Cicchetto, whatever his last. Love his stuff on Punisher. The guy's really an underappreciated artist. Like, I'm surprised I haven't put him on a top book, like a top tier book yet.
Mm-hmm. He's just been doing a bunch of miniseries, and right now he's just doing Old Man Hawkeye, which is really cool. Yeah. But
I like Kelly Thompson's writing too, so I'm liable to get this book, likely to get this book.
They already released it in paperback, and this is a reissue as a oversized hardcover, and I'm really excited because that'll go nicely along with all my other Star Wars hardcovers. But I want to express a little bit of me being upset because they had a chance to include. There were two other, there was the Storms of Crate miniseries, or not miniseries, one shot, and then there was a one shot for that character that Benicio del Toro played.
Oh yeah,
they could have thrown both of those issues in there, and they didn't for some reason, because the Journey to Force Awakens hardcover included the 4-issue miniseries, also with artwork by Cicchetto, and then also included the one shot about C-3PO.
Maybe some kind of omnibus. I don't know. Marvel's kind of weird with their hardcover releases of Star Wars, honestly. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think they include enough, unless it's the main series or Darth Vader. I guess the two ongoing series. It seems like the miniseries always are priced way too high with not enough issues for me.
I found those pictures of the Midnight Suns, by the way, and so the pictures included. There's a few of them. One of them has Blade, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Hannibal King, Damon Hellstorm, and Doctor Strange. And then another image also has Morbius, the living vampire, on there. And then there's another image that has Jennifer Kale.
Did you say Johnny Blaze?
I believe it is Blaze.
Oh, God. Yes. I love that guy. And I just want Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, back. Those were my two favorite characters in that. I love that run. I know Howard Mackie gets a lot of hate, but man, I fucking love that 90s Ghost Rider.
It is Blaze. Yep. I just found he had like a bunch of little profile images that he drew.
Awesome.
And yeah, so that I'm hoping that's a thing, that maybe that's why they're deciding to reprint all that stuff, is because of a Midnight Sun series.
That'd be bitchin'.
That's a great way to put it.
Good choice of words.
Thank
Good
you.
choice of words. Then we have Rogue One adaptation. Sure.
That's okay.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of adaptations, honestly. I never have been. As far as comic book adaptations.
It had good artwork though. It was I don't remember who the interior artwork was, but it was pretty. No, it wasn't this one. Sorry, it was Force Awakens had someone pretty good on it. I don't remember who, but it was a decent artist.
So this Star Wars Epic Collection, this is the original Marvel years. This is the stuff that has been collected in the Omnibus, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. But they're throwing in some UK stuff in there too, unlike the Marvel Omnis, correct? Because I think
the third Omnibus collected a little bit of the UK stuff, but it looks like they're not in the contents of the third Omnibus yet.
Cool. And then we have this is how you pick them up, right, Jess?
Dr. Aphra?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that mean, remastered trade paperback?
That's just the. I think that's just the title.
Oh, remastered. Okay. Cool. I can't wait for it. Yeah, 000 and not so good. Blackmailed by evil droid mastermind 000. That's awesome. I love Dr. Aphra. That's such a good book.
Okay, so Sledge just said both Johnny and Danny are in that picture. So fuck yes, that's awesome.
Oh, I didn't even
place and Danny Ketch. Woo! I'm excited about that. Whatever the hell that turns into. So here is, let's see, Generations trade paperback. This is, I guess, the soft cover of that hardcover that came out recently that was $50. This actually tells you what's in it, though, unlike the other Generations. Because remember we were talking about that, and I was like, is the Generations hardcover only Generations?
And, I think you're thinking of Legacy.
Yeah, never mind, it was Legacy.
This is that series of like, it was like eight one-shots or something.
Which I love that.
Honestly, could have gone with... have they collected the Wolverine and All New Wolverine in her trade paperbacks?
Not in anything hard. No, just in paperback.
No, I mean that one shot.
Oh, that one. Yeah, they've been including those one shots in in those individual characters' collections.
Cool, because I've got a couple of those trades pretty cheap. And then we have the softcover edition of the Secret Empire. Looks like it contains the exact same thing as the hardcover for $40. How much was the hardcover? I thought the hardcover was $50.
I think it was $60.
I think it's $75 now that I'm looking at it.
They really...
Holy shit. It was $60. You're right.
I'm good.
That's an odd number.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Doctor Strange Damnation complete trade paperback. This is the Donny Cates stuff?
Yes, but it doesn't... I don't think it includes the first story arc that he did. No, it does not. The one where Loki becomes the Sorcerer Supreme briefly, which was a really fun storyline. But this Damnation storyline, I think I described it to y'all, but it's basically like Strange tries to resurrect everyone who died in Las Vegas after...
Whoa.
Spoilers. Yeah. And
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
It says it right here.
Yeah, it is right there. But he raises the entire city back, and everyone's like, "Hey, there's a cost to using that much magic." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I don't care. Like the lives are worth it." And then all of a sudden, this tower just shoots up from the middle of the city, and he goes inside, and it's this real demonic looking, like hellish tower, and it's a giant casino run by Mephisto and a bunch of demons.
That sounds awesome.
So it's just this crazy, and then like they're issue 2 or something into it right now, and like slight spoiler here, but it's like everyone becomes a Ghost Rider, and just everyone's running around with flaming skulls. So it's pretty fucking bitchin'.
That sounds great.
Is the new Venom.
Hey, I'm not gonna get upset about that. That would be pretty awesome if that's true.
All right. Have you read this Legion series? I've read the first 2 issues, and I thought they were okay.
Yeah, I'm in the same book, or I'm in the same boat.
Can you scroll down, sir? I just want to see what's in the collection. There's only 5 issues, $16, and I kind of feel the same way about Rogue and Gambit. That felt like, what was that movie? Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Have you read any of this, Rogue and Gambit?
Yeah, I enjoy this one a lot more than Legion. I'll say that.
Okay. I've only read the first issue of that though. It reminded me of the Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
That was a great movie. I love that movie.
Amazing Spider-Man Family Business Trade Paperback. What is that a one shot?
It was an OGN that was released around the time that they were doing that X-Men No More Humans and what was that other one? Rage of Ultron.
Yeah, okay.
Trilogy of Thanos books. This was released around that time. It's just it was an oversized hardcover OGN.
Those are two pretty good writers right there.
Wade and Robinson, yeah. This is if you've been reading the current Chip Zdarsky Spectacular Spider-Man series, a character that's introduced in that graphic novel is reintroduced in that series. So that's probably why they're putting it out there again.
Oh. So speaking of reintroductions, this Marvel 2-in-1 Fate of the Four, this is where they reintroduce the Thing and Human Torch, right? Back into the Marvel universe.
Well, they've already been around because the Thing was one of the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy during the last part of Bendis's run, and then Johnny Storm was alongside the Inhumans, and he was also part of the Uncanny Avengers. So they've been doing stuff, but this is where Chip brings them together and has them team up, and something happens, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like they might still be out. The Richards family might still be out there, and we have to figure out how to bring them back.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this, but I never watched it.
It is
or read it.
Solid stuff, man.
I think Gabe said it was really good.
Mm-hmm. And then this Deadpool, this is the final volume of Jerry Dugan's long-running Deadpool run. So
not collected in the Omnibus, right? This is other stuff.
This is after the Omnibus.
Okay.
It's very, obviously they're going to make the rest of his run into Omnibus because they've done everything Deadpool.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I'm curious how they're going to do it because there's, 60 issues of material, and that would wind up being the biggest omnibus that Marvel's ever done, and there's not a really good breaking point in the middle, so it's either going to be an awkward break to put it into 2 volumes, or it's going to be one giant omnibus.
Well, Marvel knows that Deadpool sells, and they like money, so they'll probably break it up into 2 omnis.
Yeah.
And then we have more Deadpool by Spider-Man, Deadpool. This is the Robbie Thompson stuff. This is the stuff that Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness work on.
Yeah, this is that series that I showed the hardcover for earlier. Mm-hmm. And then I mentioned that Robbie Thompson is now the current ongoing writer. And before Robbie Thompson, between all the issues of the Joe Kelly run, there was just a bunch of random people. So he's really the second ongoing writer that has been on the series. And he's been doing a pretty good job.
Cool. And then we've got Thanos Wins by Donny Cates. That's Donny Cates' first stories on Thanos, isn't it?
And it is, and the way that they're labeling it, it looks like it's his only story that he's going to have done on Thanos.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Because there's not a volume 1 or anything, and we are getting to the point where everything's ending and getting renumbered and stuff, so yeah, I would not be surprised.
That's more what we need. More confusion. Miss Marvel. I love that series, but I'm hoping that they'll release another omnibus of that. Even though the first Omni was so freaking small. Collecting volume or issues 25 through 30, Invincible Iron Man. This is the Brian Michael Bendis stuff, right?
This is the finale, the final chunk of issues.
So that's a day 1 buy for you, right, Omar?
No, sir. That is a pass for me. I really need to catch up on Old Man Logan. I've read the first arc that Ed Brison's done. Not that it was bad, but it was just, I guess I just need to finish it off. And there is John P. in the room. There is everybody's favorite all-new Wolverine. Or at least
Woman Laura, that sounds cool.
Yeah, spoilers. And let's see. Keep on going down, sir, and answer this question. Is the Mike Allred Silver Surfer run good? Is that the stuff that what's Dan Slott did?
Dan Slott, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty fun run. Did you like it, Jess?
Yeah, I'm disappointed it hasn't been collected in hardcover.
I'm surprised it hasn't, honestly.
Yeah.
I know Dan Slott put out a tweet or something where he was like, would people like to see that in a hardcover in an omnibus edition? And a lot of people were like, yeah, of course. Now, mostly, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy the story. I'm not going to lie. But I would mostly want to buy it because of that sweet all-red art.
Yeah, the story was good, I thought, but it wasn't anything really special.
I know a lot of people compared it to like a Doctor Who type thing. Like, he has a companion, and then there's kind of a little romantic thing. And not kind of, but...
And Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, have you guys been reading those?
I have.
I have. I love it. I love Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's wacky, crazy fun.
My daughter has the first trade paperback, and I haven't read it yet, but it was, geared towards kids. So,
yeah, I just heard a little high-pitched voice, and I was going to ask you if like pick those up for your kid.
A little girl voice.
Yep, that was my kiddo, and she saw that on the screen. I was like, yeah,
she's excited. It's a solid series, and I'm gonna echo a sentiment that Peter M mentioned not too long ago in the group when he was talking about that Unstoppable Wasp series. I think it's really fantastic that Marvel is doing all ages books like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur as part of main continuity, not as their own separate thing, but as part of Marvel's main continuity. Although that one is labeled as being rated T, so that's kind of strange.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
I don't know, because I've read that story. I mean, I've been reading the series and keeping up with it each month, and I don't recognize anything that would make it anything more than rated for all ages.
Honestly, she reads a lot of stuff. Like, she's a pretty bright 8-year-old. Like, she's the one that read Klaus and loved it. So, all right, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Have we heard that this is ending? Right, the series is ending when Bendis leaves. That's what I thought.
Oh, ending. I'm not 100% sure. I can't confirm.
I can't see that series going on without him, honestly. But
they're gonna want to do something with Miles.
I'm sure he'll be on a team or something.
But he's getting that movie this year.
Oh, you're right. The animated one.
Probably gonna keep him around in an ongoing series as long as they can.
And then we have Falcon Take Flight, which I have not read at all.
It's not great.
It's $20 for 8 issues, so I would assume Marvel agrees with you.
Yeah. For some reason, Blackheart gets involved.
Blackheart, really?
Blackheart and Mephisto. And
Father and son team up to take out the Falcon. That is weird. All right, Jess. Let's look at those DC solicits real quick. Do you remember how to do this?
It's right there, dude.
Oh, my man!
Slap down.
Look at that. So, continuing the Dan Abnett Rebirth Aquaman Volume 5. Still hoping maybe a hardcover, which would be nice, but probably doubt that we'll get it. This I did not see coming. Instead of an omnibus, we get an absolute Flashpoint. Did not see that coming. That contains, I think it's the 5 issues, right? And that's it? 272 pages?
So. Yeah.
I don't see anything else that would tell me it's got any of the other miniseries.
All it says is the Red Hot 5-issue miniseries by Jeff Johns and Andy Kubert returns in a new Absolute Edition. And I'm sure, like I'm almost, no pun intended, absolutely sure that we'll see an omnibus just because of how many like the Final Crisis omnibus got solicited. I'm sure we're gonna see one for Flashpoint that includes all the tie-ins and stuff.
I'd say about 2 more years, like their 10-year anniversary or something. All right, and then we have more Rebirth with Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. That is one title I have not read. Have you guys read that one?
I have not.
But I like Marcio Takara. I really like her on the art. And then we have Batman. That is a title I do keep up with, but I'm about 6 issues behind. But I have read these. These are 38 through 44. I have read those.
Is this the storyline where they go hang out with Superman and Lois?
I think that's in the annual.
The annual was the story that everyone cried about.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh.
I'm picking it up this weekend at my LCS, where
I think this does collect the double date that you're talking about, then.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember what was in there. I'm sitting here trying to scroll, and then I realized it's not on my screen.
It's not you. Yeah, it's Jess. And then we have the Death of the Banes is the new edition of the trade paperback. They just did the hardcover. That's the one that that's where Ra's al Ghul dies.
Spoilers.
Unspoilers, because he returns in the Return of Ra's al Ghul. The resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. So.
He returns every fucking time he turns around.
Well, you know, when you've got when you got the Lazarus Pit, you know, you're very limited to how many times you're going to actually die. Batman and Robin Adventures Volume 3. Is this the most, like, have they done previous collections of these? Do you guys know?
Of these, like, the ones based on the animated series?
Yeah. Have they done previous collected editions of these?
I don't know that they've done solid, like, all the way through. Like, there might have been a few with a few issues here and there, but I'm not, I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass, honestly.
That's okay. I tend to do that a lot.
Now this next one, the Batman TMNT Deluxe Edition hardcover, I was hoping that this would collect both
and the animated series one too. That would be cool. Because I wanted something like an omnibus. But this is just an oversized one, isn't it?
But I'm not sure, because it's, let's see, 224 pages seems like 6 issues.
That's
right?
the first. Yeah, that's the first mini.
Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed. It would be awesome if they had both of them in there, but yeah, you can't win them all. Whatever.
Because the first hardcover is just like standard size, so they went ahead and did it in oversized cover because I guess it sold really well. And honestly, Freddie Williams is a great artist. Thrill Killer. This is coming back into print. Was always one of those love and hate Dan Brereton on the art for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him.
Like, sometimes I dig it and sometimes I didn't. But I actually like this story. This is the Howard Chaykin story. This is an Elseworld tale. Blue Beetle, Road to Nowhere. Has that series still going, or has it been canceled?
I believe this is the end.
Okay. And then we have a soft cover of the DC Universe by Mike Mignola.
Mignola. Like lasagna.
Thank you, Jess.
I have to contribute something here.
Mignagna.
That's 400 pages for $20. That's a pretty good deal, even though they're kind of everywhere. Oh, because let me see. Yeah, they're just jumping around everywhere. And Doom Patrol Silver Age, which, do you have that omnibus already, Jess?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Which I love.
Flash by Jeff Johns, book 5. Are the Omnis out of print, I guess?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Badly.
Holy shit, we have 86 people watching.
Whoa.
All right. And then jump back down to 81 as soon as I
you scared them off, man.
5 people left. Oh, we're out of here.
Okay. So Harley Quinn. Yes, that's a buy for me and Jess. And have you been getting those too, Riley?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I only get them because this crazy old man tells me how wonderful they are.
Easy.
Wasn't talking about you. It's another YouTube channel I watch. And the Jetsons, you guys go on about these, right? This series, the Hanna-Barbera stuff.
I have been reading that one. It's been pretty interesting, and it kind of goes along with that idea of like, why is their world like floating? Like, what happened on the Earth that has everyone like in these pods?
Wow, that's kind of cool.
So yeah, as soon as they started going to that, I was like, oh shit, that's dope. It's not nearly as good as like Flintstones was, but it is a cool little sci-fi story that puts a little twist on the old Jetsons cartoon.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they've been doing with this whole Hanna-Barbera stuff, hasn't it?
Yeah, more or less, just
twist.
Modern twist on these characters.
And Justice League of America, I'll wait for the hardcover, and me and Jess will buy it on day one.
Forget it.
You never read it. Just
you
you're gonna
suckered
love
me
it.
into that. I'm not falling for that again.
Dude, it was a blind buy for me. Calm your boobs. All right, let's see. Justice League of America, Silver Age, Volume 4. Do you have those already in omnibus format, Jess?
I do, yeah. 1 and 2.
Cool. I have never read this series. Ragman?
That's recent.
Okay, that's why.
It's not. I didn't think it was good.
Sad. Okay. Orion by Walter Simonson, Book 1. That omnibus is out of print as well, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I
okay.
didn't know it was.
Okay, I thought it was for some reason. Maybe because I haven't bought it and I don't own it, so it doesn't exist, so therefore it must be out of print.
Here's the book we've all been waiting for, said no one.
Red Hood and the Outlaws. Is this the complete New 52? Holy shit, it is not.
No,
This
so
issue
issue second volume.
I remember when we first talked about this, but I'm going to say it again. Say what you will about Scott Lobdell in this run. He is probably the most consistent writer that has been on Red Hood and the Outlaws. What is this, 7 years now? Because he's still writing the book, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It's just called Red Hood and...
It's called Red Hood and the Outlaws again.
Holy shit, okay.
It's great. The Rebirth title's great. I love it.
Yeah, I heard. Oh, I'm a big fan of Kenneth Rocafort, though. I love his artwork.
I just really want to see them do a collection of Judd Winnick's stuff in like oversize. Because he did that under the Red Hood that first made Jason Todd into the Red Hood. And then
that would be a really good...
He had that...
I want to see Judd Winnick come back in the comics, honestly. I really liked his writing.
But he also did the Lost Days, which was like a mini-series about like when Jason was coming back to life. And he revisited the Red Hood a little bit after Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin. So there's enough material to do a nice deluxe hardcover with everything in it, and I really want to see that.
That would be good with me. I'd pick that up. What's the buying price for you on this Red Hood and the Outlaws New 52 Volume 1?
I don't know. This one I've read the first volume. I didn't really enjoy it too much. I've heard people talk about that it does get good even during the New 52 series. So I'm probably gonna read that, probably not legally, just so I can have the hey, I bought a fuck ton of bad Batman books. I think I have a pass.
The DC owes you, huh? I own these in trade paperback, so I will not be upgrading. Just like I didn't upgrade my trades to the Francis Manapul omnibus of Flash. Actually, I think the only New 52 stuff that I do own is the Harley and the Batman and Robin. That was because I never picked up those series in trades. Let's see. Now we have Frank Miller's Ronin New Edition. I swear we get that book like every 2 years. Suicide Squad Volume 6. This is the Rob Williams stuff. Apparently, it gets better, Jess. Yes, hell yes. More Supergirl by Peter David.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. They're up to issue 43. They just need, I think, probably 2 more to finish out the run. Or did they go to 80? I can't remember if it went to 68 or 80 something. Superman for All Seasons. One of the best Superman stories, I think. Standalone. Superman Blue Volume 1. I'm doing a custom omnibus of this.
Oh, nice.
I didn't think anybody but me and maybe Gabe wanted this bullshit, but apparently DC seems to think the new generations needs to be introduced to some shitty Superman stories. So
wait, so
printing this.
What the fuck is Superman Blue? Because I've looked into like try to find out for myself, and I lost interest in reading like Wikipedia articles within the first paragraph.
I can tell you it is not Jeff Loeb's follow-up to Spider-Man Blue. Superman Blue is when in the 90s, like he was dying and he goes to see a doctor and the doctor's like, man, comic book science. Your molecules are all fucked up. You're turning into electricity, and he kind of disappears. Literally, like, he gains this new powers is to become electricity, and then he splits into two. There's Superman Red and Superman Blue. And I'll be honest, I stopped reading comics at that time, so I can't tell you where it ends, but I'm doing a huge custom bind. Like, I literally have 200 issues because I love throwing away money.
Yeah, now I'm just upset that you didn't read the rest of that because you really had me there. Like, and I was like, oh shit, like this is the most ridiculous shit, and I can't wait to hear the rest of he didn't read more.
Didn't finish it, man. Didn't finish it. I will let you know here in a couple of years when I finish that run.
But like, so
you finish your shitty Batman stories.
Wait, but you said like he like disintegrated? Was that what you said? Like, and then all of a sudden was it electricity?
No, it's like he didn't really disappear. Like, his body became like lightning.
How did they like? Did he get exposed to something?
No, it's just comic book science.
They were just like fucking Kryptonians.
One day, I guess he went to get a prostate exam, and the doctor's like, dude, you're turning into electricity.
I'm so shook right now. Like, I don't know what to think about this, and I'm still not getting the answers that I wanted. Was Superman red? Was he bad? Was he a mean Superman? Is that why he was red?
I don't know. That's when I stopped reading all. I don't think he was bad. I think they just like needed Superman at another location.
All right, well, my wife's home. I'm going to deuce out of here. We're going to make some dinner.
All right, man. It was good to see you. We're almost done with this, so you take care, Riley.
All right, you guys.
Talk to you later.
Later.
Bye-bye. All right, so let's finish this out, Jazz. We got Titans the Lazarus Contract, which contains Titans 11, Teen Titans 8, Deathstroke 19 through 20, and Teen Titans the Lazarus Contract Special 1. My question is, will that Teen Titans one-shot, the Lazarus Contract, be contained in any of those other trades? Because I've been collecting those other trades, or I will be. And if somebody in the chat knows that answer, that would be awesome. Trinity Volume 3, this is the new Rebirth titles, collecting issues 12 through 16 in Annual 1. Wildstorm, have you read this? I heard really good things about this.
I have. I read the first one and thought it was okay. I haven't read the second Rebirth. I don't think it's deluxe. I think they're standard size.
Okay. Well, I have. So the question, Cycle Cleveland, is that Titans one shot going to be collected in any of those Deathstroke, Teen Titans, or Titans book? The Lazarus contract. Number 1. That's it. That was the question. Now, let's see. There was something else down there. This is you, right? The Wonder Woman Golden Age Omnibus? Is that you, brother?
That's me.
Cool, cool. And me down there is the Wonder Woman by John Byrne, Book 2. This collects, let's see. Yeah, 115 through 124. And I think that's it. I don't think there'll be a Volume 3 of that. And that is also me and you, the Wonder Woman, the Rebirth Deluxe Edition, Book 2.
Oh, yeah.
Finishes out, sadly, the Greg Rucka run. I haven't read James Robinson's run, but I was a big fan of Greg Rucka's run.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's it as far as DC. Oh, no. There is one book down at the bottom and under Vertigo, I believe.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah,
the American Vampire.
That's it.
Omnibus.
Yep. So we have the American Vampire Omnibus. Who broke the news about this? That was our Gabe.
Gabe the Babe.
Told us about this months ago before we even saw it in any solicitations, because Scott Snyder just likes to talk, apparently, which is awesome. Good. Glad that we're getting this, and I will probably pick that up, and apparently so will Riley, because he just sold his trade paperbacks. Then we get Hellblazer, Volume 19. More Hellblazer. Wow, they are almost done with Hellblazer.
Yeah, they are pumping it out.
Holy crap, man! Maybe we get some oversized hardcovers out of those, because that.
Well,
that
it's 216 through 229, and it goes to issue 300.
Oh, I thought they were almost done. Let's see, and then we have The Invisibles, Book 3, trade paperback. I've got the Omnibus, so I will not be picking that up, and I think that's it, man.
I think so too. Now, here's the question
for me.
No, yeah, for you. How do I get out? I've maximized everything, and the buttons have disappeared to minimize it. So how do I minimize this? How do I get out of it?
Go.
I mean, the buttons have already... See, there's no buttons up here. See where I'm pointing?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Can you drag it? Can you drag it? Mm-hmm.
They just showed up.
Yeah, if you go all the way to the top, they should auto show up. Now you can close that, or just go back and stop sharing. And
wait, what do I want to hit here? Green or red?
Go ahead and hit the green one first. There you go. Now, can you see the... there we go. Now you go to there and you want to hit, like, go in the back. No. Like, behind that. Yeah, there we go. Go to Google Hangouts and hit stop up at the top. Not the bottom. It says stop broadcast. And bam!
Yay, here I am again.
Take the square off of you and we're good, man. Let's finish this episode out. Cycle Cleveland, that is not the question I was asking. I'm with it, man. But the question was, do I need to buy that stupid trade paperback if I already have all the other three? That was the question. Let's see. Gabe shared Coke with Snyder, and he spilled it. Of course, that's got to be John P.
I have no idea what's been going on in the chat for the past half hour.
I haven't either. I swing back in. I know that John P's in there. So that is it, guys. I think Jess, you and Luis went through like 100 questions last night, didn't you?
There were a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
We were on for, I feel like it was almost 2 hours or an hour and a half.
We've almost been on for 2 hours. So do you want to take just a couple questions and then kill it?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds fine. I don't know if there were any questions asked while I had my screen maximized.
All right, Cycle Cleveland says basketball time. Jess, you really don't dig Dan Brereton's art. He is very surprised.
I sort of liked it at first, and then I sort of got tired of it. It sort of wore me down. It's so chunky and odd that I just I don't know. I can't be a fan of everything. I'm usually upbeat and positive about every frickin' thing under the sun.
He really is. It's hard to get Jess to admit that something sucks.
So I'm just gonna have to throw in the towel and say I just don't care for it.
Don't care for it. Got it.
Luis still has a boner from Cadillacs and Dinos. Yeah, that was the little car that we saw on Amazon. He was freaking out over
Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
And there was he went on Amazon. Book? Yeah, there was a car that was issued as a little toy, and it had lava spitting guns and missiles and a net that came out of the back of the car and everything.
Brereton's art always reminded me of what's his name, Daniel Acuna. I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of hit or miss with me too. He has to be on a particular book for me to enjoy it. Let's see. Omar, what do you know about the Superman Exile Omnibus coming out? I know that I've got it custom bound and that I read it in my Superman readathon and I thought it was really fun. I really like that story. And I'm still surprised they started there instead of Man of Steel Volume 1 by John Byrne.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's DC logic for you. Jess, you and I can attest to this. Is the Peter David run worth reading?
On Supergirl?
Yeah.
Holy smoke, yes.
Absolutely it is. I love that run. It made me care about, because I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it's not Supergirl. It's Matrix, right?
Yeah.
It's a clone. She just took the image of Supergirl. But there's so much more to it than that gets revealed as the story goes on when she merges with Linda. And, oh, man, it's so good. I love that series. And I wish I'm happy with the trades. I know we'll never get a omnibus out of those. Because, for years they tried to do away with that character. So much so that in the original printing of the Death of and Return of Superman Omnibus, they took out stories that had anything to do with Matrix. Like, not just issues, but like pages. If her name was mentioned, they yanked it out. So it wasn't until the new printing that it was put back in there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did not want to acknowledge the fact that character existed. I don't know if it was because they had it out for Peter David or they just wanted to forget about her because they had a new Supergirl. They had Jeff Loeb's new Supergirl, but yeah. So it took them years, But so I'm glad we're finally getting these collections.
Just where's Luis's Codpiece Thor review? He did it last night, as a matter of fact, on the Wednesday show, and he ranted so hard that he broke the internet and went off the air for a couple minutes, then picked right back up in mid-rant and kept ranting about it. It was a solid 10-minute review, and it was hilarious. I mean, he was flipped out about it. I've never seen him so emotional.
That's awesome. I'll have to watch.
It was really funny. Yeah.
This is a damn good question. This is Caldwell Comics. And without spoiling too much, and I'm curious what yours is, what was your favorite arc of Fables without spoiling too much?
Oh, gosh.
I know mine right off the bat.
Okay.
And it's the Frog Prince story.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love, before, without spoiling too much, before the Great Battle, that storyline, oh my God, I loved it. I thought it was perfect. But I think Fables is just such a perfect title. I love all of Fables just about. After the Great Battle, it kind of, slows down a little bit, but it picks back up towards the end, I think.
I think my favorite arc was when we found out who the great adversary was. Which was fairly early on. But to me, that was just, I don't know. That just surprised me who it was. And his behavior just throughout the rest of the story just surprised me too.
Oh, dude. I loved it. And, because you're used to reading comics and you're like, oh, well, this isn't too much of a spoiler. That character will be back. Whatever. Nope. You're like, what? No, that's not the way stories end. It's happily ever after, you asshole.
Yeah. New Mutants 9.8 in 9.8? Well, how much was it, Gabe? Yeah, I mean, tell us. That must have been like a $2,000 book or something in 9.8.
You guys in your CGC, I swear. First appearance of Deadpool. People are crazy.
9.8, that's astonishing.
I've still got mine.
Yeah, I have mine from back when I was collecting in the 90s.
Let's see. I don't know if you guys have mentioned it recently, but have you guys done your review of Planetary? Not yet. We are working on that. I think it's going to be the first week of April is what we decided, maybe.
Yeah.
Because we all got to get caught up. Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming.
Doing the review during the Wednesday show was a cop-out, but it was enjoyable. Well, Sam, it was either that or not happening. I'm just surprised and delighted that it happened a year later when we first made the bet. So just be happy like I am that we got the review at all.
Codpiece Thor. Man, like I said, I told Luis when we were talking in the chat, I love that story, actually. That's the William Messner Loebs. Because I liked his run on Wonder Woman as well. And then Riley reminded me that I liked his Max story too. The Max on Image. But yeah, I remember I met him years ago. Like, the guy only had one arm. Like, but he was a really nice dude, and nobody knew who he was, but he was like, "Oh yeah, I used to write comic books." He was at a flea market. No, it was a car show. That's what it was. I saw him at a car show, and they had like a comic book store next to it. I was out of town, and they had him there just signing. Really weird.
Did he lose the arm during his writing career, or?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I thought that was nice of you.
Yeah, I was like, hey, man, I may come across like an asshole, but I don't want to point out your, flaws. Like, what happened to your eye, dude? Oh, yes, and his Flash run was super underrated. Thank you, Nick Martin. It was awesome.
Are you also annoyed by the glued and tight binding on the Vertigo Deluxe editions, like Scalped, Why the Last Man, 100 Bullets?
Sending Fables.
Probably Fables too, yeah.
I don't have the hardcover editions. I'm waiting for an omnibus because I'm one of those idiots. Hopefully.
Oh, for Fables?
Yeah, I have them in trade, but I will happily sell those as soon as an Omni gets announced. So, Gabe, have you heard that Silver Surfer might actually show up in Infinity War?
Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of tight for scalped, but I don't know that it would bother me. Now it will, now that you pointed it out. I need to reread this.
Scalped?
Yeah.
Fables. No more rereading for you, sir. 2018 is the year that you read new stuff for the first time because you got a ton of backlog.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that is totally right.
Yes, and Don Rosa is limited by his eyes. That's why he can't draw comics anymore. But anytime you meet Don Rosa at a convention, he is nice enough to do you a... Okay, he was nice enough to do you a free sketch. But then he found out that people were selling his sketches to people in Europe on eBay for like a lot of money because he used to do free sketches. So now when you go to his table at a convention, he asks you, like, you either have to have a book for him to sign, or he asks you, like, or you have to tell him about what's your favorite story in, like, any of his Uncle Scrooge or Donald Duck books that he's ever worked on. So that was pretty cool. So he still gives free sketches, but you just have to answer a question.
Oh, he was at Baltimore last year, and I didn't get a chance to see him.
He's going to be at Baltimore this year, and I am going to go see him.
Okay, good. That means I will too.
Even though he lives like literally 45 minutes away from me.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah, man.
Are you going to interview him?
I don't think he likes interviews. He's much like there are some people like him, and who else did I meet that was like that? Jay Lee. Surprisingly, he doesn't like to be on camera. But he was a nice guy. I talked to him for a little bit. He was drawing a cover. Yeah, I get it. Some people don't want to be on screen.
Yeah, sure.
Baltimore is at the end of September, right, Jess?
Yep.
And John P's asking, because I'm going to go up there to hang out with Jess. So you should come too, John P.
That would rock. We could talk Howard Stern all the time.
Yeah, but I gotta get really drunk before I hang out with John P. So then he can really criticize me and how I pronounce.
There's a bar right across the street from the convention center.
Oh, of course there is. They know where to place those things. Omar, you should take him to White Castle. Take Don Rosa to White Castle. I'm sure he would love that. That guy loves like he grows peppers now. He has this giant farm. He's pretty. Yeah, he's
how old is he?
60 something. I want to say late 60s. Yeah.
That's not very old to this guy.
No, that's not old at all, man. I'm going to bike to Third Eye and then go to Baltimore.
That is a crazy amount of biking, but if anybody can do it, you can, John P.
Omnipool, anyone going to MegaCon in Orlando? I think that's the one that Luis goes to because he lives in Orange County, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one Gabe visited him last year.
He does have a collection of White Castle memorabilia. You're right.
He does?
Yeah, Don Rosa does. Thank you, Sledge. And he also collects nothing but duck. Like sometimes he draws beautiful commission pieces, and he gets paid in like rare figurines. He loves the duck figurines. Like he only owns a couple of like Mickey Mouse figurines, but his house is just like he has an upstairs dedicated to just like duck figures and things like that. It's really cool.
How do you know?
I've stalked him and I followed him home. I watched a YouTube video. Like there was a guy that went to his house.
Cool.
From Europe that did a tour of his house in Louisville, Kentucky.
That is very cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, that's it. That's it for me. I'm gonna head out there and watch something with the wife before she falls asleep. So
okay, well, I guess that means that's it for me too then.
Man, people love talking to you. You could stay on all night and they'll talk to you, Jess. I'm getting tired. I know I had all these big plans for my wife being out of town, and I'm sure I'm going to go to bed early every night. Mr. Betty Ford, I think I'm almost 100% sure that Betty Ford, Absolute Killing Joke will have both colored versions. That's what I've heard. Is that what you heard too, Jess?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't pick up on that.
Huh. Yeah,
that's
what I heard.
The recolored version and then the original version? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, you know the recolor from the hardcover.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's gonna have those colors and the original colors. Kind of like what they did with year one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see. Oh man, Kentaro Miura doesn't have any photos of himself in the last 10 years. Who else is like Steve Ditko? Remember Steve Ditko's a mystery too. Oh shit, I gotta go.
Okay, Omar,
Mystery of Steve Ditko.
Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on my YouTube channel called Near Mint Condition. We have a new show every Thursday where me and my other group of friends get together and talk about geeky stuff. Man, we focus on one thing, man. This is like Alcoholics Anonymous for whiskey. They're more like Alcoholics Anonymous for everything. All paraphernalia. And and I recently did a overview of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books, which Riley and I talked about a little bit in this episode. And then you can almost find me with this gentleman on the Facebook group, which is called
the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community.
Wow, all in one hit. And who brought this episode? Who put this episode together besides me and you?
That would be InStockTrades.com, where you can get your books up to 50% off. Over $50 an order gets you free shipping in the United States, loyalty discounts, fabulous packaging, and great customer service. That's InStockTrades.com, as they say in Wisconsin.com.
Damn it, Cycle, Cleveland, fucking John P. I'm not talking about Steve Ditko's not making comics anymore. I'm saying pictures of him. The guy only has like 3 pictures of him out on the internet. That's what I'm saying. You get it together, man. You get it together. On that note, I'm out of here. Good night, everybody.
Good night, dude. And you can find me. Are you signing off, or are you staying?
I thought you were ending the episode. I was going to say good night to you.
Well, I need to give my plug.
All right, where can they find you? Where can they find you, Jess?
They can find me on YouTube on OmniDog's Vault, and on Instagram OmniDogs_Vault. And also, I am with this fine gentleman on Ryleymo's Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community page. And thank you to the audience. Thank you, viewers. We had a record number of viewers tonight. That rocks.
Thank you.
Really excited by that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John P., for creating 18 different aliases and jumping on the chat. Much appreciated.
Oh, man. John P. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Peace and love. Peace and love.